10 more days, 10 more days, 10 more days. And then we're done with this series. Holy shit. That's wild to think about. But welcome back to another Conversations with June. Once again, let's just go right into picking a topic as per usual. Yeah. Okay, that works. Oh, there's one hiding. There we go. Okay. But this one dropped out first, so we'll do this one. Don't be one we've already done. Oh, no. Okay. We haven't done this one yet, but this is idea number 21. Let's talk about me Familia. Cause I don't know about a lot of other people. Well, I say that. I do know about a lot of other people. I know that a lot of other people that at least I know don't have that close of a relationship with their family in some form, or like very much aren't friends with their family. But me and my family are rather close. Or rather my family and I as well. Words are difficult. But yeah. So I have 3 older sisters. The eldest is Felicia. I call her FJ. She's a photographer. So and she was also really good at dancing as well. Or is rather. But you're gonna notice something about me and my immediate families, like me and my sisters and all that jazz, is that a lot of us are very creative. So the eldest one, Felicia, she's a photographer. She does freelance photography. She's really good at it. Perhaps if I remember, I'll put links to their stuff down below. But in the description, please go check out my sisters. But she's probably the most, I don't want to say the most approachable, but if you saw all of us together, you'd think that she's the most normal of us. Which, you know, I'm not gonna say whether that's true or not, because I'd have to fight with my sisters. But if you saw all of us together and you had to pick out which one of us is the most normal, it would be Felicia. As the eldest, she's taken care of me quite a few times, which I appreciate very much. If you're watching this video, FJ, love you very much. To be fair to all my sisters who are probably going to be watching this at some point, love you. Oh gosh, I feel like I don't know what I should actually be saying here other than just, hey, I love my family. But my middle sister, Monique, Momo, she is a artist, she's a singer. She has music on Spotify, so does my younger sister. I'll also put those stuff down below. She is perhaps the craziest of us. If you put us all together again, you'd probably think that she's the craziest. But we as a family unit are actually like really chill, or like very, very much similar to each other. We're all very, very similar in some form. And it shows because when we're all together, we're all just like laughing at the same stuff, and it's all great, and all making like jokes with each other. It's also apparent because a lot of people who meet all of us or see us all together, they always comment on how close we are together, or like how weird we are with each other, and it's like it's really good. It's really fun. There's kind of like a rule in that if you don't like the whole family, then you cannot be accepted as our friends, which is kind of bad, kind of sad, but because of how close we all are and because of how similar we all are, it's kind of like if you don't like one, you kind of don't like the rest of us. So sorry about that. And then Leah is the younger sister, but they're all older than me, and she's also a musician. She is currently going around and doing a lot of music stuff, which is crazy wild, and I respect that amount of effort that she's been putting into it. Like, holy shit. She also has music on, like, Bandcamp and Spotify and stuff. You know what? Just assume that if they are doing something artistic, it's at the bottom. It's in the description. I love my sisters a whole lot. We are all very, very, we all are very close and love each other a whole lot. And that's just how it is. And it, like, my relationship with my family makes me so, I want to say sympathetic rather than empathetic. for those who don't have as good of a relationship, because like I know that like overall we're actually lucky that we're so close, because at least from what I know, a lot of people do not get along well with their family, like whether it's their mother, their father, their sisters, their siblings, like, and that makes me sad, but that is just how the world works, especially because, like, let's be honest here, some family members are abusive, and that fucking sucks for those people. And that's why, like, I feel bad, even though this is kind of going off the family topic, but also kind of there, because when my mom died, I felt I didn't feel sympathy for a bit for those who had issues with their mothers, because when someone dies who's close to you in the family, there's a whole lot that you wish you could say to somebody, basically. And when people were telling me issues that they had with their parents or their mothers, specifically their mothers, I was like, well, still, if you love them and if they love you, you gotta like make sure that that's the case. But sometimes there is no love there, and that's shitty, and I've kind of come to realize that. But let's get off of that for a second, and let's go back into Mi Familia. So my dad, he's the reason why I'm into like tech stuff. That's why I've got, you know, this camcorder, why I've got this dope ass microphone, why I've got this laptop, basically because my dad has like always been around technology. He's been like a software engineer. He worked like a pretty big company for a few years. I couldn't tell you what the company's name was because I was very young at the time, but I appreciate the fact that my dad has been very much into this, but my dad has also like, this is stuff that I wish I had known when I was like younger, but I had only like either remembered or learned when I was a little bit older. Like, my dad originally wanted to be a pilot, wanted to be a pilot for the army, but I think either that wasn't possible, or he came to realize that perhaps the army isn't great, and he ended up wanting to become an author. Now, I've never seen any of my dad's writings, but I'm sure that it would be interesting because my dad loves the idea of traveling and like seeing the world. He also used to draw quite a bit, which is where my and basically all my sister's skills come from, because we all also draw, which is actually wild. Like, Jesus Christ, the similarities in our family is crazy. I find it funny because there was a show that I was doing and my dad came to come watch it, and I may or may not have set it up so that my dad had to come up to the stage, but when he did, all the people that I was working with like all turned to me, looked at my dad, looked back at me, and went, yeah, you guys look way too similar. And I found it hilarious. I found it funny. Like, I couldn't even try and play it off to be like, I don't know who this man is, because they all just looked at him and looked at me, and anyone I didn't tell that I wanted my dad up looked at him and went, yeah, that's your dad. And I was like, yep. It's great. But I also have cousins that I'm very close to. I'm very close to Joanne, who is currently in uni in England, finally, because she was living in France for like most of her life. But, you know, she's very cool. She's currently doing like politics, I think, which is crazy fucking wild to me, because when she was in France, a lot of the stuff that she was doing was like dance and acting and all that, and she's just here doing fucking politics. Okay, cool. Be the one in the family that gets into that. Do it. Why not? And listen, okay. I have this topic here, but there's nothing that I can say other than, if you've met me, you've basically met my family, because we're all so fucking similar. And it goes into my cousins as well. Joanne, Clifford, Naume, we're all the same. Get us all in a room, and even though like we may not all talk or necessarily act the same way, you'll learn that no, we are all very, very similar, technically, on a personality level. Which is why, again, if you don't like one of the members of the family, you're kind of not going to be accepted as a friend or as part of a relationship or whatever. It's just not how that works. It definitely isn't how that works, goddamn. I'm also been playing this the whole time. I'm sorry, but yeah, just I am lucky that I have a very good relationship with my family. Not to say that it's always been good. Like, I've had fights with my sisters, and my sisters have had fights with each other. Like, that's just how it is. That is just how it is. That's kind of just how life is. Like, you can't always have a completely good relationship with something. It's always a gray area. It's always a very gray area with relationships with family and friends, because you're not always gonna agree with what people are saying or what people believe in. But you know, we all, despite that, are all very close, and like, that hasn't happened for us in ages. And I think it's very telling that a lot of people say that you end up having a better relationship with your parents or your siblings after you move out, because, or like after they've moved out or whatever, because when you're in the house with each other, you just want to kill each other. And that's just because, like, we all have our own space, and like all have our own stuff. And remember, there's 4 of us. There's me and my 3 sisters. So when we were all in the house, there's just like all stuff all over the place that we all is like, no, that's mine. No, that's mine. Don't touch that. Okay, we shared that, whatever, etc., etc., etc. Oh gosh, I forgot what I was saying. Even though I just said it, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, why am I bad at this? I'm so bad at making videos. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, but saying that, no, my sisters have actually been very supportive in me doing this. In fact, they've come up with other video ideas for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm down with this. Like, for example, because I've started doing this, my eldest, Felicia, said, I say my eldest like it's my child, my eldest sister, Felicia, called me and was like, hey, you should do vlog stuff when you go to university as well, and like do an actual thing. And I was like, I had kind of considered that, but now that you're saying it, it makes me think that it's a good idea. My general consensus is, if I think it could be a good idea, but if my sisters recommend it, it is a good idea. Gosh, just, I don't know. I'm just glad that I have a good relationship with my family. This sounds very braggy now that I'm thinking about it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't have a good relationship with all of my family. My immediate ones, notably my sisters and cousins, yeah. But, there's like a whole bunch of extended family members that, granted, I'm not fond of, or I'm not the best with, but I don't need to talk about that because I'm an African family, and anytime I say anything like that, it's just immediate drama if anyone finds out. So, I'm gonna stop talking now. This is where I'm gonna end the episode. But I hope that anybody who's watching this, if you do have a good relationship with your family, I'm glad for you and I'm happy. If you don't have a good relationship with your family, I'm very sorry, but recognize that even though your family may not be your family, your friends are your family too. Like, if you're close to your friends and you have a good relationship with them, your friends are your family, and that is how it is. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I need to put this down because I need to do the outro. But thank you so very much for watching this episode, and I hope that you come and watch tomorrow's episode. Now it's 9 more days before we're officially done with this series, and that is actually crazy. I've somehow got 20 days in. How have I done this? Okay, well, see you later.